I would put it this way, pacifism leads to anarchism. And of course, that's a very controversial argument starting word, anarchism, because you think that anarchism means chaos and lawlessness, disorder, mayhem, crime. That's what people think, and we've been trained to think that anarchism means bad things. But what Micah is saying, what I think the Bible is saying, is that if we obey God's law and we're filled with God's order and God's prescriptions for our lives, then you won't have governments, you won't have armies, you won't have IRS agents, you won't vote for those things to exist. And so, anarchism in the Bible, that is a vine and fig tree society where there is no one to make you afraid, that comes into existence by theocracy, not by rebellion. It comes into existence by pacifism, not by violence, not by revolution. And I think that's a really mind-bending statement to say that the only way we can achieve anarchist, a stateless society, is by more obedience to God's law and more obedience to the prescriptions of the Prince of Peace, to put it that way. And Jesus in Mark chapter 10 says we are to be servants, we're not to be archists. He uses the Greek word from which we get our word anarchist. But he says the kings of the Gentiles love to be archists, and the Gentiles believe they have the right to be archists. And that Greek word, as Jesus is describing the works and lives of the kings of the Gentiles, is I get to hurt people and I get to take their stuff. I get to invade, I get to conquer, I get to tax people. I don't have to be a servant. And Jesus says that's not the way it works. For Christians, we are to be servants, not archists.